had also participated in the last competition and have all the technical support, business support about their project. And τι άλλο προμάλλες?
Αυτό, that his team won the competition.
Yes. And also about have the leader said about some tricks about meetings of ULG, that ULG can be combined with other meetings such as for other European meetings, or generally to be in the period that have an event. What else?
Yes, to make the ULG members hosts of the meetings, try to involve them and to host the meeting. We used to do that, of course, when the physical meetings were.
Yes, physical meeting, when we have, yes. And this is a big question from Anna also. If we have to the next transnational meetings, ULG members together with us in our national meetings. And the big question is this the next transnational meeting can be on physical way or online. This is generally.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you, Gdansk, and thank you for Piraeus for contributing to those ideas. That's very useful. I've made a note of those. And in the other group, I'm afraid I nominated Gail. She didn't volunteer. I nominated Gail to be able to feedback on our discussion. So Gail, do you want to just give the group an overview of some of the ideas we discussed for motivating ULG members to participate?
Yes, of course. So here is the question: how to motivate partners to participate to the project, the ULG. And the question was precised by Boulogne-sur-Mer. It's about how to address businesses and not only institutionals. It's also the issue of having, I would say, elder people in front of us with no interest in new technologies or no knowledge about it. So the tactics and tricks we could apply to answer those questions are the next ones. So Piraeus employed someone who had a large network and influence, so we can use influential people or very connected people to act as driving force and attract all kinds of network and help create this ULG. Copper told us that they also use this strategy using respected people and using also previous positive experiences to attract people and to base the communication on the previous positive experiences they already had. Galetti used the fear of missing out to appeal banks joining the ULG. That's a great tactic, I think. Fear of missing out can be very useful. We also heard that business people position themselves as mentor, and also the ULG has opportunity to create their own business opportunity, and they saw a value in the ULG itself as a business opportunity and network opportunity. The Piraeus also used, I say used, but no, had an experience with someone who managed the program. In the same time, he was managing his own business, and he found an interest in doing both, because ULG and its business were both positively impacted by the project. And last but not least, self-interest can be a good driver, and self-interest can be a promise for those who want to improve or develop their community and cities, attracting and keeping best talents and future entrepreneurs. That's all for us, I think, if I'm correct.
Brilliant job, Gail. Thank you very much. Brilliant job, everybody. So I will take those ideas away and I will produce a report based on our bilateral meetings, which will summarize some of those ideas, and we'll also look for other ideas in order to motivate people to participate. So thank you very much for that input. Again, we're desperately trying to catch up and make sure that we keep to time. We have one more presentation before we have a break, before we run into the final session. This one more presentation is from a dear friend of mine who I'm very grateful for him devoting his time and energy to come and do us a presentation on the Piraeus BluLab. Andreas Kantaros, very grateful for your input. He's going to give us a bit of a presentation about the Piraeus BluLab with a little bit of a virtual study tour, which I'm really grateful for him digitally delivering for us. So Andreas, over to you. Lovely to see you and thank you again.
The pleasure is all mine, dear Jim. My name is Andreas Kantaros. I'm a technician here at the BluLab. I want to welcome you all in our lab today. Also, I would like to welcome the 4 new cities and wish the best of outcomes throughout their journey to the second wave of this project. Now about BluLab. BluLab is a lab with a vision to support blue economy. We have 2 distinguished, let's say, sectors operating here at BluLab. We have the technical sector and the entrepreneurial support sector. Here now, we are live from our digital manufacturing lab. As you can see, we have a number of relevant equipment ranging from 3D printers to 3D scanners, with the purpose of helping new startups to manufacture their prototypes via this equipment, and also to conduct relevant seminars about 3D design and 3D printing. Before all this, I would like to clarify that the BluLab operated and operates under a non-profit scheme. So this is something very important that helped us throughout this journey. This is the second year that we are running. Of course, we will continue the tour. COVID outbreak didn't obviously help us towards maintaining a very live, let's say, workplace, but we migrated, as I imagine you all did, into digital seminars and other operations. So this is our 3D printing lab. We have a number of users that actually use this lab as a maker space to make their prototypes and help their ideas live. For example, I would like to show here 3 indicative projects that were made here in this lab. This is a prototype of a device that helps the air to be clean from COVID-19 particles, and in this way helps towards maintaining the air clean. And also, as simple as it may seem, we manufactured thousands of these face shields that were used by medical personnel in order to protect them from the COVID-19 outbreak. As I said, this is something now that is very common. It seems to be very simple, but last year it wasn't available, and medical healthcare personnel really wanted this product. So we utilized our equipment here in order to fabricate such products, and many other products. Here we have, as I said, our 3D printers, a variety of them. And now let me show you the other equipment that we have in our facility. Of course, you can interrupt me at any time if you want me to answer any questions about the way we operate or about our equipment. So let me let me transfer you to another space that is very significant for us. It has its value, and it's a recycling facility, a small recycling facility that is very relevant for our equipment as well. Here we have our recycling corner, as I say, where especially schools, students, and a lot of other people brought us, for example, plastic bottles or other plastic waste, where we actually shredded them. We cut them and shredded very small pieces of this equipment, and transformed these plastic particles that were derived from plastic waste to 3D printing raw material. So this was an example, let's say, of applying circular economy, because we actually utilized waste brought by the community in order to produce raw materials for our printers. And this was something, as I said before, of high significance for us, because a part of our project was also school excursions to our facility, where students actually witnessed all this procedure and learned firsthand how a recycling process is actually conducted. Because students knew about recycling, they were engaged to this activity, but could not actually understand how this thing worked. So it was a really nice example to show how we can come with a final product, and start from waste. This was something really important for us. And if I may continue now, we will show you the rest of the space and come to the second part, the second sector, the second bit, as I may say, that actually had to do with entrepreneurial support, the support of startups. There were 5 different calls for startups relevant to the economy that were supported from BluAct. Actually, one cycle was devoted to the winners of the Blue Growth competition that participated in the competition, and they were mentored, they were coached through our accelerator here, and they were helped in order to make their ideas blossom and transform from pre-seed startups to startups that would have a legal entity and start their commercial activity. And so, if I may continue, Of course, you can interact, as I said, at any time. The rest of the lab actually is all about providing a common shared workspace, let's say, for these people. We wanted those people to come here and have a place to work, a place where they would also interact between them. And this is something that we wanted to provide, of course, as I said, in a non-profit scheme. So the rest of the lab is, let's say, a pleasant facility devoted to these people who would like to come here and work through the first step. And of course, have all the support that I said beforehand, and also be truly close, 1-2 steps away from a modern makerspace who would also help their ideas come to life in the form of prototypes if there were such startups that had a product on the way. So, as I said before, this is our the common shared workspace, and more or less this is our lab. And of course, I would be delighted to answer to any questions that might arise.
Andreas, thank you very much for that fascinating tour. I've said on message, congratulations to you and to Piraeus for organizing such a wonderful virtual study tour. It makes the facility come alive and makes us understand more about the BluLab. So I'll open it up to any questions from the group to see if anybody has any questions that they want to ask about the BluLab and its operation or its business model or anything at all. Everybody's very shy today, Andreas.
Well, let's say, if I might add a clue, and let the other people, of course, think of any questions that they might have. What was really important for us, as I said, this was from the beginning, working under a non-profit operational scheme. BluLab worked for 2 years now under the control of the municipality of Piraeus, but was actually operated by a private contractor. Now, after those 2 years, and I want to stress this to show the degree of engagement, let's say, from the municipality that showed true interest about this space the last 2 years, is the fact that now, after the 2 years that the contract lasted, BluLab is now being transferred, let's say, completely its operations to the municipality itself, under the auspice and under the control of the newly established development organization of Piraeus, of the municipality of Piraeus. So this true interest and this degree of engagement, let's say, from the municipality itself, from the people of the municipality of Piraeus, from top to bottom, is shown truly. So we're also migrating these days to another operational scheme completely under the auspice of the municipality of Piraeus.
Brilliant, thank you. I think, Gail, you were going to ask a question, or no? It's been answered now?
Yes, it's been answered. It was about the business model, and we will have other opportunities to address this issue, I think.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Andreas, I have one question for you, which is that I think the vice mayor today said that you have had 600 schools participate in activities in the BluLab. So I understand a little bit that I think your focus is on inspiring young people to think about the blue economy and technology and 3D printers. And I think I also understand a little bit that you have an incubation offer and an innovation offer. Is that the basis of the business model, or do you have other activities that you get involved in, or that you try and generate income from the sale of services and things like that?
Well, yes, this is a very nice question, dear Jim. And this is, as I said, these were our operations in the past 2 years. They were very important. As I stressed, this non-profit scheme was truly important for us. Schools also, as I said, and as you realized, visited this place. It was part of the vision, of course, was to inspire young people and to make them understand that blue economy doesn't have solely to do with just shipping companies. It's a group of activities, and this is something that we clarified to them during the tour. And of course, as I said, those 2 years were pretty structured. And now what you said about perhaps offering also other services, migrate from a non-profit to another scheme, is something that is being discussed in the current days. And we will be delighted in next meetings to show actually all those changes perhaps that are being discussed right now and will probably happen. Of course, those 2 years were very useful for us in order to understand what went right, what went wrong. This is something that was truly pioneering for Greece, because we were practically the only municipality that operated, let's say, this innovation center. The government itself wants to create other innovation centers as well throughout Greece and here in Athens. We want this to happen, and we're actually waiting in order to incorporate ourselves to this innovation boom, let's say. But at the end of the day, we were the only ones who actually had such a facility operated by the municipality. And of course, there were made mistakes, there were made many good things came from this, and we want to actually criticize ourselves, let's say, in order to let us evolve and see what the next day will be. But I believe that the next day will be truly promising and better.
Brilliant, thank you. Thank you for that informative answer. That's brilliant. Unless anybody else has any other questions, I'm looking for any raised hands. Oh, I see one from Anna from Gdansk Incubator. Anna?
No, I only appreciated the presentation.
Ah, see,
I was clapping.
Yeah. You were clapping, brilliant.
Yeah.
I like that, that's good. So Andreas, thank you for your contribution. It's been, as I say, very interesting and very fascinating. And the way you've delivered the virtual tour is also very innovative. And if we have to keep virtual study visits going for the rest of our meetings, I think you have set a high benchmark on how to deliver them. So thank you.
Thank you, and of course, many thanks to our technicians. Of course, without their presence, nothing of this would be able. To Agustinos, Stefanos, and Angelos as well. They were there behind the screens, and their contribution is more than vital. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you, and yep, thank you, technical team, and brilliant. So I think we have another coffee break now. Can I please ask that everybody comes back for 25 minutes past 3, if that's okay. So we'll have we're a little bit late, but we'll have at least 25 minutes if that's okay. If we can rejoin at 25 past 3, then we'll hear more from the wonderful Piraeus URBACT Local Group, who are waiting very patiently for their slot. So thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a enjoyable break. So welcome back, everybody, for the last two sessions of the day before we finish at 4 o'clock. I see Angelos has just emailed to say the coffee has just arrived in their ULG meeting, which is, as he says, the most important part of the day, and the most important part of the meeting. So he just wants a couple of minutes to get everybody fueled up with coffee. So if you can just give us a couple of minutes, we will hand over to Piraeus to tell us more about the URBACT Local Group.
Chance to introduce our ULG coordinator is Vangelis Simsaris. So I also do a round to introduce the other members of our ULG. Maybe Jim, you know already some of them. We have Stamatia Yesinari.
Hello, Jim.
Hello, Stamatia.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello.
How are you?
I'm very
Happy
well.
to
How
see
are
you
you? Yeah, nice to see you too. I hope you're well.
But now I'm here as a representative of WIMA. WIMA is an association with around 60-65 members in shipping industry. So we have a lot of, let's say, know-how in innovative products and, you know, all the new technologies. So I'm happy to be here, and I wish to help you in your program.
Hello, I'm Giannis Alefadinos. Hello, Jim, from Piraeus Port Authority. It's nice to see you all in the second wave of the project.
Hello, my name is Dimitris Spyrou. I also work for Piraeus Port Authority as a consultant in the strategic planning and marketing department. And I'm involved in the port activities the last 34 years. Okay, thank you very much for the invitation to participate.
Hello, nice to see you all. My name is Maria Giannakourou. I'm a project manager in European projects and used to work for Tech Revolution, another URBACT network that has just finished. So I'm familiar with the first phase of BluAct, and I wish you all the best for the second phase of BluAct.
Hello, I'm Konstantinos Kyriakakis. Nice to be here with you. I am working project management in startups programs for the European Union.
Hello, everyone. This is Gregory Jovanov. I'm the Managing Director of Strategies, Maritime ICT Cluster. Cluster here located in Piraeus, Greece. We are glad to be part of the ULG, and our best wishes for success in this second phase, the second wave. Thank you.
Thank you, Gregory, for passing. Hello, Jim. Hello, everyone. My name is Attila Akats. I'm a member, specifically research associate in the Hellenic Institute of Transport. And today, as we did in the first part of URBACT and the similar project, we are here to help you in this fruitful effort to make the city of Piraeus and the other cities more efficient on the subject tackled here.
Hi, I'm Nectaria Marava. I'm presenting here a company, a private company, APOPCSA, who is going to start with Piraeus, an innovative center to help innovative startups to grow up, or groups of youth with an innovative idea to go on and establish a new enterprise. Nice to meet you, all of you here. I wish you a good start to your project, and I'm eager to know how it's going to be all. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Antigonia Pelagiotti. I'm representing Piraeus Business Support Center, which is an initiative of the municipality of Piraeus. And its purpose is to help local enterprises by providing free consulting services in terms of get financing by institutions or European or government programs, or helping them to structure a business plan or a marketing plan. We help also by developing sectorial studies and researches concerning entrepreneurship. I'm very glad to be here with you today and hear all those interesting things that you are mentioned. Thank you. So I believe that please everyone that attends the event.
So where to start? Yeah, we talked a bit about the numbers.
Oh.
You can go.
Okay, what we want to discuss in this ULG is the contribution of each of our members to startups and to the startups as a consulting or as activities generally, and how they view the competition itself, the Blue Growth Piraeus competition. If they have a new idea or have something different about it to say. So I'll give someone to talk about it from our members. Θέλει κάποιος να μιλήσει για το διαγωνισμό, αν έχει κάποια ιδέα για να αλλάξει, πώς να συμμετέχει. Θέλετε κάτι να πείτε? Δεν ξέρω το διαγωνισμό. Θέλετε κάτι γενικώς για τις startups, αν θέλετε κάτι να πείτε. Να δώσετε κάποια ιδέα για τις startups. Ή εταιρεία που έχεις την ιδιότητα. Κωνσταντίνο, πώς μπορείς να τις βοηθήσεις startups? Also, I put an issue that I want to have because it's inspiration to know about the poor, all of us, and how much about the new, the young people that want to have a new job in this field. I want to ask Mr. Spiro and Mr. Lefino if they put challenges about the port itself, because someone want to to know about the port. Τι προβλήματα υπάρχουν να λυθούν κτλ. Θέλεις να πεις κάτι για τα σημερινά προβλήματα?
You know that the port of Piraeus is under a very big improvement, let's say, of its activities. And we see that for the next years, we will have a need in order to for new jobs and new specializations concerning the people who wish to work in our port. For the time being, you have not any opportunity on this field, but I think that in the near future we will see these needs coming in front of us. Okay.
Yeah, I could. So it so happened that I participated in a port-related conference last week at Gumenica Port, and I spoke about the opportunities and for startups to participate in the development of new technologies for the port of the future. So, as you may know, it's been kind of difficult for startups to get involved with public works and the public procurement. It's usually these big projects require established companies to participate in. But now there are some tools that facilitate the participation of startups, and especially Europe has developed new guidance for opening up the procurement, the public procurement, to smaller companies. So it's public innovation in public procurement. So they allow public organizations to open calls for the development of technologies, not only for buying products and services, finished goods. So it's an opportunity for startups to participate now and take advantage of the new rules for public procurement that allow the financing by public organization of technology development and the participation in R&D and technology development. And I believe that's a great opportunity for startups to get involved with public works and public projects. So that's...
So, in our effort, we're trying to develop such tools because we have different tools that helping in a step-by-step way the startups to do different things. One of the things that's the one that you mentioned, how startups need to be digital adopted, digital transformative, in order to be accepted for funding for different, either funding from national funds or from EU and so on. But in the first question, I think the youth, that startups, innovative ideas comes from youth. So I believe that they don't have the business knowledge they need in order to open an enterprise. So what we offer for the first step is to give them a business plan, a business model canvas, in order to go on with their idea, in order their innovative idea to be in a practical way, how to do it in a business way. So this is our first step. This is what we're going to do as a first step. As a second step, I think your competition or hackathon, I don't know what you're going to organize, is a good idea because you have a place that can offer them a place to host them for a while. So it would be a good idea to, how to say, to connect these two projects, the one that we are going to run and the one we are going to run as well, with to offer them the good ideas that came from your project to go on to be hosted to our facility. I think we can discuss a lot about startups and how they can be accelerated in Greece. It's something very, very difficult, but demanding, but I think it's quite promising as well, because you have a good mind. The mind should not be brain away and go to abroad to work, but should stay here to find a job and create opportunities. Okay, I'm open to any questions. That's all from me for now.
I totally agree with Mr. Yovanov and Mrs. Nectaria. And also, I would like to add something else. The startups, it's very important to see the need of the market, and after they have to make a progress in the problem and solve and to find a solution. It's very important to see what they need and what the market need in order to find something innovative. For example, you know about the cold ironing and all this discussion. Yeah. So it's very important to find the gap and also to give us to market the solution.
Yes, this is the problem that I say that many, because we are port city, and many young want to be occupied in a blue economy, but they don't know how to do it. And this is the problem, that they don't know what is the problem to solve it. And this is what we want to do, to have a port, to have other services to communicate with young people, so that to give directions on it, which is the problem that young people should solve. This is what we want to do. Yes.
Yes, defining the problem of needs. So far from our expertise and contribution in European events and mostly horizon and transnational events, unfortunately, all the groups does not have a centralized, let's say, tool or space that they can share this information. It is a lot dependent on the local community and the regional community, let's say. So basically, it is wiser to invest in the development of a tool or a cluster regionally, locally, enhance it, and then to be used as a good practice now, which is in our case for Piraeus to the others. That's why it's promoted so much now, this type of events. Regarding the information, at least this is a personal opinion. If I was a part of a startup group, I would really like for the partners and investors, let's say, in this idea, to, with a presentation or with a structured way, a coordinated way, to show what is the market needs prior to the competition, as mostly as a pool of ideas, in order to enlighten young entrepreneurs to see which is the problem, because maybe they have a good idea, but does not tackle a problem. Yeah. It's good, but it's in secondary, let's say, need now. So maybe it's a good point to start with these small steps to enhance, let's say, the competition. Because the competition, I think, is in a good position now. It needs just small steps to enhance.
Guidance, a little guidance.
Have to be close with the universities, and there is the, you know, yes, and also the market. For example, WIMA, we have 65 members, entrepreneurships in shipping industry, so they have a need in every sector, so we can give to you the need or
yes, ideas or something very difficult for them in order to find a solution, to make an idea a startup, and after business, this is the way.
I just want to ask, do you have during your meetings, during the first, probably the first round?
This is the first.
This is first
meeting,
meeting. Oh, no,
yes,
the first round of, no, this is first meeting.
This is the first meeting of the second round.
Have you?
The first round was closed in June.
Have you defined the blue economy, blue innovation sector? Have you know for Piraeus?
New sector, yes.
That's
the sector that are popular. You mean that, yes. This is a question about our business support center that have made a survey about it. And yes, and in Piraeus, generally, we say that 5 sectors are most popular, and that all the here in city can occupy and have do work to do. I give Adigoni to speak.
Okay, for sure we have completed the sectorial study regarding exporting enterprises, which is the sector that is actually more, yeah. On the other hand, I have to say that from the studies that we keep, the majority of businesses are commercial businesses here in Piraeus, and they are actually small or very small or small businesses. I mean retail shops. And of course, in that part, maybe the initiative of Nectaria for startups can put a frame on the entrepreneurs, yeah, so that all young people with smart ideas, let's say, because the present businesses are businesses that are traditional businesses in traditional sectors, as the trade sector. So they will move forward any smart idea or let's say innovative idea in new sectors. We all hear about the fourth yes, revolution for digital transformation and all this, but I think that people do not have the knowledge to just say use all this information. I think that you should let's say include to your business plans some induction for all these businesses to digital transformation, or yeah, it's very important because it's a knowledge that we all should have. And I think that the pandemic has proven a useful lesson for all of us, because we do not meet each other in person. We communicate via Zoom or Skype or yeah, Teams, and we have to learn to work digitally. Yeah, yeah. Okay, where is Jim?
Hey, Jim.
have raised a hand. So do you have a question for the ULG? We can't hear you.
That's better. So it was an observation really for the other partners. Stamatia mentioned the cold harboring, cold ironing challenge, which just to explain a little bit, I think my understanding was that there was a student in a university who came up with an idea for an energy solution, which he didn't have an application for, which was an energy storage solution. And through the competition, this student started to work with the port to understand the problem that a port has in relation to cold ironing, which is where the ships, the cruise ships in particular, where they come into the port and they dock in the port, they have to connect to the local energy system under new regulations introduced by the European Commission. And so here was a young entrepreneur with an idea for a localized energy system. And here was a company with a problem, the port, who needed a localized energy solution. And through the competition, these two constituent people came together and started to work on trying to solve the problem together. And over time, I can't remember whether the individual in question won the competition or not, but at least through the competition, they honed and developed the business plan together for developing the solution. So it's an example, I think, of where the competition process brings different parties together in order to help arrive at a common solution. And just very briefly, picking up on that last point about digital transition, I think also your point that you were making there was that there are many companies that are struggling to adapt and to change and to adopt digital technologies in the marine and maritime sector. And something the competition does also is through things like hackathons or just through the process of digital entrepreneurs pitching to more traditional businesses. It brings together these two interested parties to try and develop common solutions. So I just really wanted to just try and translate, I think, what some of you were saying about how it's important that the Blue Growth Entrepreneurship Competition fuses together interested stakeholders to come up with common solutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Just to continue from what you have said, Jim, and what we have realized here is that there are companies with needs and there are people with ideas. So we need to put them together in a space. And because I like to promote also digitalization, that was also a theme that came out from this discussion, we can also create a digital space for all this to meet. We can maybe provide a forum, a digital forum where people, companies and new people with ideas could meet. But all we need is someone to organize this. So we can have this space that we all meet face to face, but we can also have a virtual space where we meet and people can lay their ideas on, kind of like a virtual forum, a virtual meeting space. But for this, we need to also have some themes, major themes. Maybe somebody has to organize this under themes, under sectors, under areas in blue economy that people can lay their ideas on. It's just something, a suggestion we can think about. Okay, just collecting the ideas of everybody that was presented here.
Yeah, regarding the fact of let's say, collaborative space and forum, Now, also with the European projects, the European Open Science Cloud has emerged a lot of activities in different sectors. The most advanced ones are in healthcare and nutrition and in the aquaculture sector. But recently, in the last months, there has been developed a similar forum for transport science related, which has all modes of transport from airborne to waterborne, also maritime. So it is a good space for the research community, for the industry, and for even the general public to go there and have this common space, which is created basically. We were involved in a European project with that. So if you want, I can share with you later on the details and have it a look. Yeah, yeah.
So anybody wants to mention something, to add something?
Yes, I would like to add that
Yes.
we already have the forum, which is under BluAct, and we just invite you to participate and of course come forward with suggestions how we can improve it, or as you said, maybe make some things, or it would help us a lot to give us your insight and to improve it and make it really operational on a worldwide basis. So we already have even members coming from China, India. We already have people there. So let's make this use of it. And even yourselves, if you haven't done it so far, we welcome you to do it. I know you are.
Yes.
I know you are. We just need to organize it a little bit so that it has, as you said, maybe things, or narrow it a bit, and it becomes more useful.
Yes. I want to mention that there are many European projects that have a similar subject to the same field. This is a problem because it's an umbrella that this not managed from one organization. This is a big problem. And what we do in our municipality, we saw that it is a problem, and we had the decision to have one big project. Generally, it's the Center for Business Support that we are said, and have on this all the projects that have about entrepreneurship and startups, so that under this big project we have all the others that have to do about the municipality. But European project, it's very different. It's not in the other one organization. This is the problem. And there are forums from different projects and not have connection with it. This is a great problem, I think.
Well, that's why we have the ULG to discuss about these issues and improve.
And we have Jim that is an expert there.
We can hear you.
Yeah, no, I have nothing to add. I think it's very interesting to hear more from the ULG members. Perhaps also what motivates them to support the project. Going back to our earlier conversation, this would be interesting to understand. But I have nothing more that I have to add to the conversation.
Do you have any question from both sides?
Yes, an interesting point. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to make for the ULG members in Piraeus? No. It looks fine. I think
It would be nice for us if we could see exactly, not in details, but let's say the outlines of the work we are going to go through through the project. Okay.
We can share this information. So are we now we need to go to the next session. Back to Jim.
So I think we were lucky enough to have presentations earlier on today from the other partners in terms of their plans for replicating the Piraeus good practice. So I think in these plans they set out their ideas for trying to develop the Piraeus good practice and to implement it in their own city. So I think this is something that has already been explained a little bit earlier on today. So I'm not sure we have a lot that we have to add to this. So I think we're probably drawing to a close near the end of the day and near the end of the session. So I think that all that remains is to maybe thank the ULG members in Piraeus for coming and giving up their time to provide us with their expertise and their experience of participating in the project. I know you're all very busy people with lots of things to do, so we really genuinely appreciate your contribution and your explanation of your role in supporting the delivery of the project, and maybe helping and advising some of these other European cities about how they can do it as well as Piraeus. Thank you. Thank you very much. So all that remains is I think, yeah, all that remains is for me to just maybe finish off for the day by explaining a little bit of the remaining actions that we have left after this meeting. So I've made a very short note of some of the actions that I think we agreed during this meeting. And so I have them recorded as this. If you disagree with me or you think I've missed anything, please let me know. The first one I have is that Jim is going to feed back to the partners on the transfer roadmap presentations. And I will also offer to organize one-to-one Skypes with the partners just to have a conversation about the progress with their transfer roadmaps. The second action I have is that partners will continue to develop their transfer roadmaps and start developing the Word document template, which is the document that gets submitted at the end of October to the URBACT Secretariat. I will prepare the reports from this transnational meeting, the minutes and the notes, and the report of the bilateral and the trilateral meeting. Tioni, I think you are going to send partners information about the joint convention. I think Angelos, in the next 15 or 20 days, you're going to send partners information about the communication plan. And Isabel, I think you're the only partner that has this specific action, but you are going to look at dates for the next transnational meeting in Bologna-sur-Mer. I think that is all I've recorded as the main actions from the meeting. Lida, Tioni, Angelos, help me if you think I've missed anything that partners or Piraeus or I need to do.
Yes, can you hear me? We are okay. We have this obligation that you mentioned, And Lida is going to send you the presentation about the financial and the relevant documents, so not to be in the Basecamp so confused, okay? And we be in contact by emails generally the next week.
Brilliant, thank you. All that remains is for me to thank the city and the municipality of Piraeus for doing such a wonderful job in organizing 2 days of a transnational meeting, and to all the other partners for participating and for freeing up your diary, and particularly for the ULG members for contributing and helping support the project. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and safe and happy remainder of the week, and we will see you all soon.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.